Muy buenas tardes a todos. Me llamo Gregorio Gonzales y soy Genízaro de una comunidad Genízaro de Rancho Taos, Nuevo Mexico. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gregorio Gonzales. I'm Genízaro from a Genízaro community located in Rancho Taos, New Mexico, so about 2 hours north of here, so roughly 7 miles south of Taos Pueblo. And yeah, I'm first and foremost, I really want to thank you all for coming to this event, and more importantly, for kind of giving me this opportunity to share this space with these amazing scholars here and to be just in this beautiful environment. Yeah, I feel blessed, very blessed. So I guess to go into my project, so essentially what my work over here at SAR is looking at is my dissertation project. I'm writing my dissertation here. So essentially what my project is looking at is it's looking at the politics and conditions of indigeneity here in northern New Mexico, particularly looking at how in New Mexico's history, particularly post kind of US invasion, so post 1848, but very specifically looking at how Genízaro communities have kind of been in this very unique position in terms of how these broader discourses of indigeneity, of state formation, of subject formation here in New Mexico play such a really fascinating role in terms of the political kind of trajectory of this region. And so in terms of looking at this structuration, if you will, of indigenous livable life, what my project is wanting to consider is how Genízaro communities, so in this case, non-recognized indigenous communities that exist here in northern New Mexico, to which I belong to one, as well as I work in another. So I'm working with two Genízaro communities. But I'm essentially looking at these key moments of how Genízaro identity, and more importantly, the intelligibility of indigenous existence here in New Mexico gets shaped by the antithesis of Genízaro's presences here. So what I'm trying to talk about is that Genízaro was a term that was used by Spanish colonial officials to identify Native women and children who were taken captive and sold into slavery here in northern New Mexico. I mean, then that slave trade was very robust, and in fact, I think SAR has been a really key institution in developing that kind of scholarship that really has been subsumed for quite some time. And so yeah, I mean, I'm very grateful to Dr. Esteban Galvez and his work, as well as James Brooks. But my project is kind of taking it in a different direction, where I'm essentially wanting to look at these indigenous communities who are not recognized by the federal government, and more importantly, these families and kind of these histories and experiences that are very distinct from kind of the 19 Pueblo nations, the 3 Apache nations, as well as the Dene Nation, and how these communities have been able to maintain this very distinct understanding of self and understanding of community in a space where we're not supposed to belong. So in that way, it's a very provocative project in many ways, but I'm really excited because it allows me to kind of interrogate these very critical questions in terms of how we understand kind of indigenousness in this space. And I think in a way, I think it's going to be really beneficial, hopefully, to my community as well as the communities that I work in. All right, yeah, thank you.